Alright, welcome back, Pokemon Go players, to another episode of the Purified podcast. Today is February 15, 2023. I am your host, Luis Palacios, with my co-host, Chris.
Hey, it's your boy, Pokemon Trigger, please. And we're back at again with a +1, too. Getting very excited for what's coming up this weekend.
Yes, because today we got a lot to talk about, but let's actually introduce our returning guest, David Hernandez from As the Pokeball Turns. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing well, guys. I hope everyone is doing well. Like he said, my name is David Hernandez, and I'm the host of As the Pokeball Turns. Back for a rerun, the sequel.
We also know him as Hamtaro, for no apparent reason, just because we wanted to.
The first Hamtaro, by the way, the first.
The first, yes. So there's gotta be a second, there's gotta be a third, but there's always a first.
Exactly.
I mean, before we begin, David, Chris, how you guys been this week? I know that things are starting to be a little more exciting as the day goes by for this week.
I'm sad. Sad about the Valentine's event.
Oh, God.
Well, yeah, it's a hard event to lose, man. That was a good event.
Well, he also doesn't have a girlfriend in the area right now, so.
That is fair. That is fair.
I was actually worried that he was going to say he just broke up with his girlfriend.
No.
Like, dude,
there's the rose right there, you know?
No, she's a fiance. And,
Sure.
yeah, no, we're still on very good terms.
Still.
Yeah, the Valentine's Day event, I did not get, any of the shinies I was hunting. So I was very sad about that. I know a lot of people wanted that broken heart Spinda, and I'm one of them.
We'll recap that in just a moment. Yeah. All our holds. I know David has some incredible pulls,
Oh.
Things like that. Yeah. We'll see. We're here once again to talk about Pokemon Go news, updates, and ranting about the game because we love the game just as much as everybody else. And a quick reminder, we are part of the Professor Network. Check us out at theprofessornetwork.com/purifiedpodcast. Wonderful people to work with every single time. I don't not gonna show much right now for picture wise because unfortunately I don't think I have everything set for that part. So, especially our cameras are all over the place right now, and I have so many filters around. So we'll leave it at that. You guys have seen it. If not, we'll see you next week anyways. Because we'll be talking definitely some incredible stories from where we're going pretty soon anyways. So I wanted to actually bring David into the podcast today for two reasons. One is our 3-year anniversary, and so happy birthday to us. Woo-hoo!
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Purified. Keep purifying Mewtwo's.
Oh my God, please, no. I do not approve of this message.
I do.
Right? Only if you get a hundo out of it, that'd be nice. And the second reason definitely is because David actually just celebrated his 1-year anniversary in his own podcast, As the Pokemon Turns. Congratulations, David. It's an amazing accomplishment to hit 1 year of podcasting, especially doing every week. We know how hard it is. Yeah. You go the distance, man, and you get the guests, man. I love it.
It's been a lot of fun. It was crazy. I was thinking about it on the horizon back in Halloween. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm coming out the 1 year. And I was like, I don't know what to do for my 1 year. And I just didn't want to do too much.
That's definitely true. It's more like an accomplishment more than a celebration for a lot of us. It's because you never know how long the podcast is going to go for. We think that it's gonna flop for the next, year, maybe 6 months. You never know. But even reaching 1 year is still an accomplishment. We're hoping for the second year. We're hoping for 3. And we'll see how many more guests you can get. For 52 weeks.
Sneaks up so quick on you, you don't even know how to celebrate it.
Right? Yeah. I think the last 2 times we celebrated, we were like, oh yeah, it is our 1-year anniversary or 2-year anniversary. I'm like, oh. Okay, that makes sense.
You guys are on your 3rd rotation. You're already hitting the 3-year. You're almost halfway to 5, dude.
Dear Lord.
You believe that?
It's amazing, and I definitely wish that I could actually start this podcast way earlier. But I didn't meet Chris until probably into the 2-3 years into Pokemon Go at this point.
Yeah, it was basically right after they added a rating.
And PvP. I think PvP is when we actually got to know each other a lot more. So
yeah, I probably saw you during rating, but I didn't talk to you till PvP because that's when things got personal.
Right, and that's what we're
tournaments together, I believe.
Chris, I don't think we ever been match in a Silt Arena tournament?
I thought you were pretty much the only person that beat me in the early Sylph because you brought Sableye, I think.
That's
It was either Sableye or Azumarill. And
I.
I think you were like, oh yeah, I saw this was really good. And I was like, yeah, it really is.
That's why I like
As
yeah.
it like swept my whole team.
I still remember that one of the best memories of that time is actually during that specific tournament where everyone was like going through their battles and everything. And my last battle to actually win it all, it was like 3-0 or 4-0, I can't remember exactly. But the last battle on that specific time was against a Grimer. And my Sebo like got into the charge move before, so it was CMP tie at the time, right at 1 health. So
Dear Lord.
then I won that
Chunky
tournament.
boy.
Yes, definitely. But yeah, so we're not gonna cover another news today. We actually want to just talk remnants. We prepare for a lot of things coming up in the league this week specifically. We're definitely gonna go over just what happened in the last week, just because we want to go to holds. But let's get to know David just a little bit more. I know he's a returning guest, but whoever is listening, I'm sure they want to know who is David if he hasn't actually listened to it before. So David, how about you introduce yourself just a little bit more, talk about what you do. I know we talked about all your podcasts already, but you definitely want to learn and really just, go take it away, I guess.
Sure. Like everybody said, my name is David. I'm the host of As the Pokeball Turns. It's a Pokemon Go podcast where I get to interview people into submission to admitting that I am a Pokemon master. But honestly, it's a show that it talks about Pokemon, people's story in Pokemon Go, and I've had the lovely hosts Chris and Lewis. They were one of my first guests on the show, and I've been doing it for the podcast has been going on for a year, but I've been doing the interviews for about 4 months now at this point. Before the podcast, I was a very hardcore grinder when it came to Pokemon Go. Played the game a lot. Still, I've slowed down a bit over the years, mainly because I've had more things to do, especially with the podcast that keep me busy. But I still just enjoy this game and the community and everything that it has to offer. And I don't know when my last day will be when I play, but it's not anytime soon, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, that's definitely not gonna happen anytime soon. Whenever they actually say Pokemon Go is shutting down forever, that's when we'll turn in our hats for one final recording, I guess. And I guess
Yeah, that's where we all do the violins off the Titanic and just say it's been nice knowing you fellas, and we just go, yeah.
Oh man, but hopefully that day either comes or comes too later into the future because we love this game too much. We definitely spend too much in this game, so we definitely want to go through.
I don't for that very reason. I don't want to know how much I spent on this game.
Oh god, I don't either. I mean, I think
you know how it does the little statistics every single level right before it leaves. It's like you have spent $1 million on Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
Something crazy.
I think that's a good sign of how much how much you pay for this game. Is that if you're the type of person who doesn't want to look at how much you spent, you're heavily invested in this game.
That's for sure.
No.
Yeah, it's definitely something that. Oh goodness, it's something that we can be proud of, but at the same time, it's kind of like we could have saved that for our retirement at this point.
It's an investment.
It's an investment. Yeah.
Investment for shiny and memories
I'm always
that we're going to see when we get old.
It's all about happiness. Yeah.
True. I'm always like thinking for the future, and I'm like, what they're gonna do once they shut down this game, and how they're gonna actually let us keep all that stuff that we already accumulated throughout the years. It's like I know
Home.
I know home is a thing, but the limitation in that is so hard that it's gonna take you another 10 years just to transfer everything you have. So it's
man,
I'm gonna crash when that happens. When people get news of Pokemon Go shutting down.
Oh god, yeah. And I mean, we'll see how it goes definitely, but. We'll be there until the very end, until we're not. Oh, yeah. We'll see how it goes, definitely. But yeah, so David, I mean, the guests that you have on your show are actually, I mean, their stories are just super amazing, and the questions you ask them, and even more, because it's interesting how to see the eye of a different type of trainer, somebody that definitely has played this game in so many different ways, between being, raiders or gym defenders or even just catching experience levels, all these things just really happen. And the perspective of that, because everybody who has played this game either from day 1 or day 3 or even year 3 or 4 still has a perspective, and you never know until you actually see it. So I'm actually kind of like every week I'm waiting on Wednesday like for that specific episode. It's like, what is it gonna do?
Fun part, and it's kind of surreal. I know me and Lewis, you and I talked about it when I interviewed you. Mm-hmm. It's surreal when you always wanted to be a content creator, and then when you finally get to do it, and you finally get to kind of be part of that process, it's hard to like put into words what it's like.
Right.
So when you actually record and people actually listen,
Yes.
and it's just hard to describe. And I'm very humbled to just see how much the show has come, and the type of guests I've had, and just to be able to have people sit down and just talk about it. And I enjoy every minute of it. Like, obviously I don't get paid for it, but I do this for the fun, and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon.
That's for sure. Yes, definitely.
And I gotta thank y'all. Like, I've always said that I thank you guys for bringing me onto the show, because I didn't know what that was gonna be. Like, I hadn't started the series when it came on to Purified the first time, and I always said, like, if y'all hadn't brought me onto the show to kind of show me what the process is like behind the scenes, the show probably wouldn't have gone to that route eventually, because I was very still scared on how to do things and everything. And I attribute a lot of what the show's become because of you guys.
Yeah,
I'm very happy to hear that.
Definitely. It's good to hear that we actually made an influence somewhere, to make sure that, you know, our best of friends can definitely go that distance in that regard. So
Be the best he can be.
yes, as always. So well, that's of course your podcast, and then 1 year you released a video actually, and actually I loved it. I mean, aside from the editing being probably the best I've seen in a while, just, you know, to show a different perspective, the different things that other people actually talked about was incredible. And of course, you know, the little quote at the end, but you know, that's how it is. If you want to listen to it, make sure you go to their Ask the Pokemon Turns YouTube channel, and you can listen to that video 1 year around the world.
Yep. And more to come.
More to come. All right, so
we're not doing drugs.
there you go. Always. It's never gonna go away. Never gonna go away.
Lives rent free in my head.
Anyways. With that being said, of course, let's go ahead and recap a little bit of what this week has been about. Definitely the month, or I guess the week of love. That's the one will be around. You know, love this, and all those Pokemons are out to play. Shinies, new shinies actually, raids to no end, and now we're here. We definitely has just finished on it today, or actually yesterday night, and then it roll over to regular spawns today. So that's interesting. But let's hear the stories of what happened this week.
All right. I'll go first because I got very few. Pure Lighter and I did raid hour, and I got a Tapu Lele shiny. It took like almost all the raids. That took forever. But I actually did a remote raid that ended up being weather boosted, and I told everyone in the car, I'm like, please let this be the shiny. And that one was the shiny, because Tapu Lele is too chunky, I believe, to fit into Great League at the moment.
Yes.
So
unless it becomes a research one, then it's never gonna go into that anytime soon.
And they look fabulous too. I love all the Tapu shinies.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, one of the nights when I was hunting, I was able to get the green eyeliner Alamomola again.
Alolomola.
Alabololo. Yeah, I think it's a very like small shiny change, but it definitely sticks out. So I was happy for that. But then I got the last shiny that actually annoyed me. Of course, you know, there's so many great shinies you could have got out of the Valentine's event. I was hoping, you know, maybe I might see another Nidoran, male or female. Maybe I'll get one of the new Frillish. No, I hatch a shiny. I have a shiny 98. That was also hatched. A shiny Bronzor. This thing haunts me, man. It haunts me. And that was it for my haul. No hundos this week.
No PvPs or anything?
No, well, I know I caught some really fun ones. Let me do a quick run through really quick before this raid invite.
All right.
You know, I know I got a rank 1 or rank 2 Flip Bebe for PvP. The final Evo. I finally caught a few Kecleon. I told you about that.
Finally.
I've been having a lot of fun seeing all the extra large and extra small Pokemon, but none that were too crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much been my week. Do we pass it on to Ham, or do we pass it on to you, Pierre?
Well, it depends if
I got nothing. I got nothing.
Nothing to talk, nothing from the Daily Instant, nothing from a shiny perspective or anything.
All I got was a wild Zora that just popped in my apartment. Other than that much else.
Nah,
We
pretty
take
much
it. We take it.
We take anything. And any rare spawns, even it's cool because you see them. Like even today, I actually got into a wild Aggron, or Aggron is the final evolution, of course. And those can be shiny, so that's actually pretty cool to see every now and then. I actually even like today I caught a wild Boldor, surprisingly. But as for my haul this week, shiny wise, I did get the Tapu Lele. We did discuss that at the end of last episode, of course. And then the Loftus. We actually have Loftus Research Day, which I'm pretty sure both of you didn't play. I didn't even play either. It's just I did.
I did the same amount of Pokestops as trainer tips. One, and I did not get a shiny.
Well, this is my very first shiny Loftus, and at the same time, that was the very first research I did. So when I got it, I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm going home. I actually had something to do that day anyway, so it wasn't really a priority for me to really look for the shiny or the Hundo or anything. I have the Hundo already, so there's no point for me to
Mega
actually...
Love Disc.
Right?
You have a power to 40.
Yeah, no. With 50 extra large candies and 2,000 regular candies. We'll see how that will work. So yeah, the Loftus is okay. At least I'm able to finally say that I got the shiny, so that's pretty cool. And Go Plus a shiny Nidoran male. So I'm okay. I mean, it's not like I needed them because I got plenty of them anyways. It was just one of those like I click and I get a shiny somehow. Go Plus for the win, as always. Then let's go for the Hundos. The only Hundo that I can report today is a Purified shiny, or not Purified shiny, but Purified Whalmer. I got just today on my one of my quests for Team Rocket, as always.
That's a fun one.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, when I saw the CPO, I was like, yay, I finally got the Hundo of this. Surprisingly, this is my first Hundo of this. So I'm actually kind of okay with that in the end of the day. I think but the best one was a 98, regardless of it. And then the last thing that I wanted to talk about was actually one interesting catch. It was an Alomola. Had almost close to perfect PvP IVs, but the CP was too high.
Oh.
So it was like 16 something, and I was like, why couldn't it just be like 100 or so less or 200 less?
I'm sorry, little one, as you transfer it.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's all I did in the end of the day for that. If it was shiny, it would have been a cool one, but either way, I think I have the shiny of that as far as I remember. And I don't keep much. Yeah, I did get one shiny well back in 2021, so I'm actually happy about that, anyways. And then the other models are just 98s and all that. With that being said, that's our hauls. But then, of course, the Valentine's Day or the Valentine's Week was packed with pink amounts of everything. Did you guys get any Mega Gardevoir energy for the Mega Gardevoir?
Yeah, thanks to you.
I did it just enough to get one.
Yeah. I did a couple to make sure that I have enough for rotation of Mega Energy, which reminds me that I gotta do them today because if not, I'm not gonna have enough. Actually, I skip a couple of days.
You're welcome.
Great.
I have been walking it because people just don't seem to do too many mega raids. Definitely a lot more than we used to do, though.
Oh yeah, it's definitely something to only do when there's enough people or people are interested and all that. I mean, Mega Gardevoir is still a pretty cool Pokemon. Mega Gallade is probably going to be more popular in that regard, though.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, Gardevoir is more useful and I think has more of a. Well, I don't know. We're both Gen 3 biased, so I don't know.
The waifu gang, man. It's got the trifecta.
Right? Yeah, definitely. But we'll see. I mean, it really depends how big the Megas are going to be once Go Tour ends, because it's going to be insane how this week we're going to have primals and all that.
Oh, yeah.
But regardless, that was the Valentine's Day week or Valentine's week with the special research and all that. I guess we can't really say anything about the limited research because, again, nobody really played anyways. And
I will say that I think Niantic, outside of Halloween, I think Niantic knows how to do Valentine's Day. Both those two are usually always solid every year from my experience.
Well,
I love Halloween event. Yeah.
The more that we think about it, the more rarer shinies are during Valentine's, though. Because we have the Spinda, we have the Furfur now. It can be shiny too. Loftus only appears every now and then. Alomola really doesn't appear unless you're playing it by the water half the time.
Yeah.
So a lot of those, even Audino doesn't spawn that frequently, except for this event
Or
specifically. So,
Chansey.
or Chansey. So it's definitely something that keeps us at bay for a while, at least. The rares that can be for as pink Pokemon can be, So
I will say I love that it wasn't as rare for Spinda this year. Trust me, it's still rare. We didn't get it, but it gives me hope for next year. Let me put it that way. Kind of like Delibird.
yeah, that's definitely. We'll see. I don't know what other pink Pokemon we can think about in this point. There is one more there's one more fish that I'm thinking of at this point. Like it looks like a weird like piranha fish from Gen
Oh,
5, I think.
Bruxish?
Breakfast, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm surprised they didn't release that back then.
It's too ugly to release, man. They can keep it out of the game.
I always thought that'd be a regional, to be honest.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, they
And-
can keep it somewhere else. I'm fine
Well,
with that.
if we go into Generation 9, I think the dolphin with the heart Palafin will probably
Ooh.
be kind of cool.
Yes.
That would be nice for a Valentine's Day release. It's like you can finally evolve your Palafin.
He
if
does
you're
have a
running-
heart.
The
I'm
shiny
just happy
is pretty
we Pokemon.
cool, right? Yeah. So, I mean, there's here and there, the generations will come when it comes down to it. I think Alcremie can be a pretty cool one for Gen 8.
Oh, Creamy's gonna be nuts, dude. Can you imagine trying to collect them all?
No,
Oh
because
my
I'm not gonna
gosh. It's
care
like
about
Furfrou.
collecting. Oh god, it's gonna be like we're gonna have like the standard 20, and then the other like 5 that are special are only gonna be during events or something.
Right.
So that's
It's kind of funny, the way you get the shiny in the main games is by spinning, right?
Mhm.
So what if they made you spin your phone
Oh god.
to get the shiny, kind of like Inkay
Yeah.
having to get turned upside down?
That's pretty cool. That's though. Every time I have one evolution of that, it's pretty cool. Every now and then.
I'll be doing wheelies in my car.
What's he doing? Oh, he's evolving it now.
Tokyo Drift, man.
Tokyo Drift. And new Tokyo Fast and Furious is coming out soon, so that's pretty weird.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's right. Yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll see. We'll see. As for rating this event, I'll give it a solid 8. I think it was pretty good.
I'll give it a 7.
Hmm.
I'm salty. But it was a very fun event, though. I did enjoy it.
David, you think you can give it a rating?
I'll do a 9 just because the Love Disc event was so lackluster. That's the only thing I have really a problem with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish they would actually pick something a little more exciting than just Love This. At least Alomola would have been a good contender.
Yeah, like have it even be like some of them are Alamomola, but most of them are Love Disc. Even just that.
Yeah, definitely something like that in the end of the day. I mean, if it wasn't because there was also a lot of cool spawns during the limited research, I would have been a little more excited. I think the only one that I really wanted to go for is Spritzy, which is a rare shiny these days anyways.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it is what it is. We'll definitely have events like this every year anyway, so it's nothing to scoff at, or we'll find a way to get the shiny in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Single Awareness Day every year.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so to move on, we actually have research topics for today, and just like I mentioned earlier, we actually don't have any news that Pokemon Go has actually come out with. The only things that I can probably mention are the notable trainers. I think I don't know if we actually talked about it last week or not, but the notable trainers. So we have Landor Alpha, we have Glitch City.
We did.
Yes,
did.
yeah.
I do remember it. But we can talk about it again, though.
I mean, we're so
I
close
do
to the
remember.
event. Why not, right? It's like we definitely. So they're going to be appearing, I think, from 2 to 6 or something like that at the end of each day to meet them. They'll be playing around the entire, park, city, whatever the event usually would be. And then, you can say hello, things like that. I think they might have a specific booths. I'm not sure entirely about that. Niantic is definitely doesn't really tell us how things are going to go until we actually get there anyways. So
They did say this time you needed a ticket to see them, though, right? I still laugh whenever I read that, though, just because Julie's standing right at the front, like, oh yeah, I don't have a ticket here. I just wanted to meet you.
Hey, she got in, so why not, right?
Yeah.
That was pretty cool too. But then let's talk about just some things from GoFest and then the last 3 years for us, you know. So I wanted to actually go on Twitter. I went to Twitter, and actually Chris helped me with this. Is the 3 years strong for the Purified podcast, favorite moments reminiscing together for today's podcast, and things like that. Not a lot of people actually commented, but we have Mr. David here. I think you can see where this is going. He said, David says, I'm not going to forget, but one that came to mind is when you and Pure were in the same room due to a hurricane that always struck to me in despite of reasons. So, yes, one of the moments what we had was right after Hurricane Ian, Ian, same thing, I guess. We, of course, Chris lost power and really didn't get anything to be able to do that. So I told him, it's like, just come to my place. I have power. I finally got everything sorted out. And we did the podcast in the same room for the first time. Surprisingly enough, because we live 20 minutes away from each other.
Yeah, it's just far enough that it's like not convenient.
Right? Yeah, definitely. It's one of those like I'll drive and drive there and things like that. I mean, it is how it is, but you sometimes have to do what you can for the podcast. And in the end, at the same time, Chris was just a trooper saying he's like, hey, I'll just go over there, get it out of the way. So
yeah, it was a lot of fun too. It was funny. You can live as even a short distance apart in a place like Florida, and the differences in who has power and not is huge.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's not just Florida, but like I just find it funny that even asking people at work, they'd tell me like, oh yeah, I live right down the street from this person and they have power, but I don't.
Right.
Like, oh, lucky you.
Well, I remember
that's how it was here in Dallas when we had the snowstorm 2 years ago.
Right.
You had like a whole lane who would have lights, and then you have a whole another lane that wouldn't.
Oh my gosh! Especially when heat comes in.
Yeah, this year. Well, I'm sorry, last year, when the storm hit, you didn't lose any power, right, David?
Nope. Thankfully, I live near a emergency service place, so
that's good.
I didn't get affected by all it. Thankfully.
Yeah, I know that there were a lot of other Texan content creators that did lose power for a couple of days, and that was insane. But I mean, that's how sometimes it is, And when Ian came around, like half of the county was off, and the other half was open, depending on how it was. Unfortunately, my workplace was still open, so I had to go to work.
Yeah, essential workers. Let's go.
We find at least we close for the hurricane. I mean, sometimes they tell you it's like, oh, you'll be fine. Just go to work. You'll be fine.
A little drizzle.
Yeah, they were making it sound like we were going to be coming in the day of the hurricane. And it was like, yeah, I don't know about that, boss. This rain kind of scary.
Yeah, so it's still interesting to say the least. That those were interesting moments. I was always, of course, going over some of the early podcasts of the time. And, I come across our very first podcast. And boy, oh boy, how different it's been since then. The excitement, the things, like small little things that just show what we had at the time. Like before, Chris didn't even have a webcam. We just did it out of like the same setup that I have on my usual streams on YouTube. We were going through a lot of different other websites like Pokémon Hub or LeakDuck or any other places to actually get information, because Niantic was still a little stingy with information. Even after all these years.
Basically, back in the day.
So it just makes me feel like coming from that point, from the very first episode, it just comes out and we're like, it's out there. It's finally out there. What will people think of us and things like that. And if I go to where I actually have like all the episodes together and everything like that. If I remember correctly, our first episode is the one that has the most views, aside from, I guess, Seattle Golf has actually reached 100 episodes. That's actually surprising. And then 100 downloads at that point, and 110 for the very first episode. So a lot of people do listen to us from the very beginning. And that's surprising, too, because I don't know how the difference between then and now has been. So.
Yeah, when you compare the quality.
Yeah. Another moment, aside from the one that I know Chris is thinking of, because this is that one moment specifically. It was during the Go Beyond update, and that was a special bonus episode we did for the very first time. And it was just like the news were out and we needed to cover like right there and then. Chris was like a trooper in like, let's do it, let's get it out of the way. And covering that was just amazing because that was the very first time that I felt like we had such impactful news for everybody, because we never thought that level cap was gonna be raised, and if it did, how they were gonna do it until now. So, David, you have any like comments when it comes to the Go Beyond update back then? Anything that you may want to get out of your chest now?
I just keep thinking of Go Beyond Plus Ultra.
Yeah.
Right here next to you.
I think that's what we referenced. Too.
Yeah, that's
like,
what we did. I was listening to that episode and now it was like Chris was just messing up his lines all the time.
Oh my gosh.
So,
No, but it was crazy. Like I always wondered. I never thought that they would ever raise the level cap because I always thought that if they did, it would be to level 100. But here we are, and it's level 50 now.
level 50, yeah, it's crazy. And some of us got there. Chris is probably like only what crawling barons to the final level. David, I know that you're
that XP grind hard, man.
XP grind. You'll get there eventually.
Right. Hey, it took me only a year and a half to get to level 44.
There you go. It's one of those things in the day, but everybody plays their own way they want to. So it's just that at the same time, the Go Beyond updates, like level 50 is an accomplishment, definitely, but at the same time, it's more like everything else is already turned on once you hit level 41 anyways.
Exactly.
Raising your Pokemon to level 50. You do get a lot of other, items, but those are the standard items we get any other day anyways. So you basically use them and you're done. So
yeah, what is it? Level like 34 to get access to extra large candy, or is it higher?
31.
31.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, they lowered it.
Yeah, they lowered it quite a bit. So everybody can get the extra large candy. I don't think you can level up the Pokemon until you reach level 40, though. I'm not sure, though.
Yes, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So once you hit level 40 or 41, that's when you can finally level up the Pokemon. But it is, nice from Niantic to give them the opportunity to get extra large candies and the ability to get through that. Even though they said it's more convenient, it's convenient because you can actually catch more Pokemon and get the experience, or get the extra large candy. But you can't really level up if you're like level 32, level 33 at this point.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah, you still gotta be them higher levels to get that level 50, right?
Yeah, and I'm mostly talking about like GBL or PvP, anything in that regard, because they're going away with the classic modes, and we're like, is that really what it's supposed to be doing? I know it's more accessible, but that's still is kind of like an iffy kind of situation in the end of the day.
Accessible,
yeah.
Right?
They could revert it, but I mean, we'll just see how it works, I suppose.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe they may actually start next season with like, okay, yeah, we've not, because I know they already mentioned they're not gonna have classics, but maybe the ways that they're doing things may actually be more impactful to the trainer itself. So the trainers will actually show that we need maybe level 40 for a little bit longer, just until for that reason. But some people are crazy; they level up as fast as possible. Some people are not, and they just play for the fun of it. So it is how it is. And then, Chris, I think I know which one you want to talk about. One of the favorite moments that we had in the podcast.
It's the one that comes to pretty much everyone's mind when we bring up hype. We were playing what was it during another Helen tour of sorts? They were doing an event where like we kept getting legendaries with special moves.
There were definitely some type of special research that we were getting for.
Yeah, I don't even remember why, but yeah, one of them was a Groudon with Fire Punch, and like this was after like a few other Pokemon, but we decided to do our shiny checks for the podcast because we were like, "Yo, wouldn't it be hype if one of us got the shiny?" And then I happened to click mine a little bit faster than Pure. He sees the shiny. We're hyped about it, but he's like, "Oh my gosh, this one's not gonna be shiny then," and he clicks it and he gets the double shiny. So we had 2 shiny Groudons with Fire Punch. It was super hype to get live. We ended up trading them, and they were not as good, but the memory still holds. It was still like a very hype moment. For
I still have that Groudon that we traded, mostly because in the end of the day, it's just a momentarily things that happened during the podcast and everything. And I think that's the best one we had so far. We had at least some connection where we get probably like a shiny Ditto on stream or a Spinda, shiny Spinda or something like that. But
Definitely the luckiest moment. I'll say that.
oh yeah, the most convenient moment for the podcast itself, because we just thought it was gonna be another shiny check, non-shiny check at the end of the day, but we both got the shiny somehow. I don't even remember if the shiny odds were actually up by that point or something, because it's still kind of insane that was the case.
It should have just been regular legendary odds, I would think.
Right. I 1 in 20 I think is for legendary odds in
Yeah.
raids, but that's in
I think
raids.
that's
But
right.
in research, I think that it's 1 in 60 something. I think.
Oh God,
Oh,
if that's
wow.
the case.
Is
Yeah.
that low, really? Dang.
When it comes to the wild in research, I believe that it's the standard 160. If you go with perma boost, it's like 1 in 40 in the wild, and then raids is 1 in 20, as everybody tries to do these days. Everybody's trying to do like every time a new shiny comes in, go ahead and send me the raid, so that way I can get the shiny before the 20 raid, even though Tapu Koko never got that point.
Yeah.
I think I did like 40 raids and I still only got 1 shiny. So
Yeah, it was a rough one.
David,
We got red Sox coming.
right, yeah. We definitely want to recreate that moment in Go Tour. We'll see how it goes.
Oh,
If we can. I mean, we're definitely gonna be raiding a lot during those that weekend specifically. So
yeah. I actually just checked Groudon on the page. We need 400 energy for his primal.
oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna be looking for the Hondos regardless of it.
Oh yeah, we're raiding it like crazy.
Well,
Yeah.
it's probably gonna be like remote raid after remote raid. Although I believe that when we're in the park, we may have to only do local, so we're gonna have to sprint to every raid.
Well, I
Oh,
mean, I'm
God,
sure there's
yeah.
gonna be a lot of people there anyway. So
Oh,
we'll be
yeah.
able
Keep
to-
walking.
Yeah, it's definitely that. Well, David, I also wanted to see if you have any type of special episode or a special moment that we had in the podcast, if you can remember. I know it's been over 100 episodes, but I don't know if you even listened to them.
One that came to mind was, I don't remember what raid boss it was. I think it was a Veltal. And I was listening to y'all while I was driving, and I was inviting both of y'all on stream. And I think Chris kept taking all the shiny Veltals.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I know I did for Xerneas.
Oh, maybe it was Xerneas. Because I think that was Lewis's favorite, or
Oh, yeah.
Carolina's favorite.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
he loves that thing.
I
And
remember
he
that.
kept getting all the shiny invites back.
And I'm just like I wanted to walk away, fire him or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
End of the podcast.
End of the
Bye,
podcast
guys.
right there. Yeah,
Have a
definitely.
good run.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's like a running joke at this point. It's like, Chris just gets something that I want, I'm just gonna fire him right there on the spot anyway. So
Dude, he gets so many Hondas and everything. I get a little crumb. A little crumb. He's like, mine.
it's like trade, lucky trade right
Lucky
here.
friends won, yeah.
I know, right? It's surprising that we haven't even hit lucky friends in a while, anyways. So,
Dude. Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
yeah. Other moments, I guess. Even hitting 1 or 2 years at this point, it's kind of a blur half the time. You're just going through every podcast episode too. It's insane, and even going like 170 episodes that we're going right now, it's crazy. It's like I know that at least the first year we posted every day, and even with the bonus episode, we did hit like 53 episodes in 1 week, in 1 year actually. And then second year we kind of deviated a little bit. We still tried to post every single day. I think we took maybe 1 break, and then this year has been a little more sporadic, mostly because Chris is also in a new job and everything. But at the same time, we started taking more breaks in between, mostly because there was not a lot of news here in between here and there, like today. But either way, today is a day to celebrate. We could have skipped it, but at the same time, we were like, let's do a podcast. We gotta do a podcast for 3 years, no matter what it is,
Right.
So.
Some people don't even make it past 10 episodes. Y'all make it past 3 years.
It's insane. It's just insane that 3 years, and hopefully more for the future. You never know. You never know. It's definitely something that's going to keep on going as long as we are committed to it. And Chris and I we definitely are committed. I know David is committed to his podcast. I'll probably hire him as the meme director of the podcast or something.
Oh my gosh.
$1
so
per meme.
fast.
How about that?
I think that started as a running joke, and then somehow apparently I was good at it.
It's just too good, man. It's like you'd make me laugh every single time you post something out there. Like the first, the one that cracked me the most was when I actually the Skittle one,
Yes.
And it was just like he was just standing there, and I was like, not even look at it. I was just trying to get a shiny. And then all of a sudden, he said, "It's like that Skittle wants to play with you," and I turned around and just fainted with the auto. And then,
Get it.
and then he posts the meme where the Thanos snap and all that, and it's like, did he notice? Did people already notice you? It's like, yes. What did it cost? I fainted. So it's like, it was just like I couldn't stop laughing every time I see that post. And ever since then, he's just like, every time he finds something, he just like posting it out. And I'm just like, this is too good. This is too good. This man is golden. Golden with all the memes there. Even I don't think of those until like way later anyway. So I don't know how you even got it. Your sense of humor is amazing, though. I can tell you that much.
Well, that's the fun part about joining y'all live, because I can do stuff like, even in chat, like I'll just say some random off the wall stuff or put some input, and that's what I enjoy about y'all show, is that you can interact with it, and there's not many shows that can do that.
Definitely, it's something that we love doing, and the more people that come in, the more people that I feel like we can shout out every time they come in. Like even today, I wanted to actually roast every single podcast out there.
Oh my gosh!
They sent me that email. I'm like,
It's like, okay, I need your house help. I don't know what to do.
I need to be in the mood for that. I need to listen to some music,
right?
angsty music, yeah.
I'd be like, this podcast right here.
Today.
I know, right? It's like, but I listen to some other podcasts. It's like, it's incredible, and all the friends that we made over the years, like between the Go Fest of last year, Go Fest of the previous year, things like that. Just shout out to all the podcasts out there. The Lura podcast. Thank you always to being our sponsors here. Chat the Roundtable Chatot. They're just amazing, goofy people to talk to listen to them every single week. Ask the Pokémon Turns, just listening to every single interview out there. I've been actually. I think I'm gonna start listening to the radio show, the new Pokemon radio show, Pokemon Go radio show.
Oh, the bonus episodes?
No, the morning show. Wasn't it that you were in that episode? One of the episodes.
Good Morning Johto.
Good Morning Johto. Yeah. And you said that it's like a combination of like the morning shows that you listen on the radio every single time, right?
It's just a bite-sized podcast. It's about 5 minutes.
Like that works anyways. So that's how you will listen to every morning. It's like 5 to 10 minutes, and then you go to this next segue or something.
It's an adventure incense walk right there.
Right? Yeah. It's just insane. And the many people we actually met during that Go Fest, it was incredible too. So my experience in all the other events, I mean, just going to Go Fest and even going to the Go Tour this year, it's gotta be interesting because the places that I go to, I want to go to places that I haven't been to before. Like Chicago was the last year in 2019. Then we were supposed to get something in 2020 and 2021, but of course,
down.
Yeah, pretty much. And just last year alone, being in Seattle, so new places, new environments, and things like that. Nothing of the same half the time when it comes down to it. So it's actually kind of fun, regardless.
Liz, do you remember the two ladies, the strippers?
Oh God. So the Lura podcast of the Pokemon Professor Network did their pop hub during Go Fest. It was, I think, the day after we played, or the day before, or not sure when it happened. But we went bar hopping, So that's where I actually met David. But then when we were hopping through a different bar, we actually meet these two drunk ladies. They were just like, they joined the group. They didn't know anything about Pokemon Go or anything like that. They just like decided to be like, okay, we're gonna sit here, we're gonna talk to although they're gonna flirt with like half the guys in there or something. Half the other guys were actually either married or engaged anyway. So I don't know what the hell was going on. I also met Shiny Shinx that night too.
Yeah, shout out to Shiny Shinx. She's awesome.
She is awesome, yes. And yeah, it went to the crazy thing of just having those girls just keep on walking with us. And then just at one point, I felt like maybe one of them was going to just go ahead and, go home with one of them at the end of the day. So they were definitely hitting. And one of my friends that is actually here from Florida, and they were just hitting on him the entire night. And he was like, nope. I keep telling him, it's like, what happened in Seattle happens in Seattle, brother. Like,
yeah, I was going to say, I just wait till Vegas then.
I know.
Yeah. Makes me another level.
It's gonna be interesting, to say the least. But yeah, and the end of the day, I think after the last or second to last hub or bar that we went to, they had to return because one of them lost their phone.
Yep.
So definitely it was like a bullet dodge for some of them because some of them were actually into those girls anyways. So I don't know what the heck, but anyways. And then Ken was just laughing his ass off half the time anyways.
It was hard not to because they were just following us for no reason. We were just like, where'd they come from?
That's the first time I actually had a moment where drunk people just keep following us for no reason. That's like, okay, I guess that's how it actually is, you know? You never know until you see it. I'm never... I'm sorry.
I wonder if they would remember us.
Maybe not. I think one of them said that they were like a model for like Victoria's Secret or something. So I don't know.
They both were. Yeah.
They were? Yeah. So, so yeah, that's the interesting part in the end of the day. But yeah, in the end of the day, it came to be in the end of the day. Sorry, I just got a message. But anyways, so listen, trying to remember my train of thought here. So just meeting incredible people every single day is still amazing, and hope to actually meet as many incredible people when we go toward this year. Finally, it's been an event that I think the three of us are going to finally be together during the weekend, right? So
I won't be there.
You won't be there? I thought you had a ticket.
I do, but I wasn't able to make it work, unfortunately.
Right. Makes sense, though.
Yeah, I thought I remembered you saying you wouldn't be able to go.
Try.
Yeah. Yeah, no sweat. I know there's going to be plenty of Pokemon Go events in the future, and hopefully one that's closer to you. Because
I hope not. Actually, no, I don't want it near me.
No,
I want to get it. Man, come on.
Texas is a big city, or a big state, sorry, but still, it will be interesting if they actually have one there.
Ooh, in Mexico.
Well, if it ever comes to Florida, we know you have a place to stay, right?
I wouldn't mind going to Florida.
A lot of old people.
Yeah. The only places that can ever be is either Miami, which I don't think they're ever gonna do it.
Orlando.
Orlando's probably going. Orlando, yeah. They gotta like have some kind of connection with Disney for some reason, and then have the parks open for everybody.
Disney or Universal are the top bets for sure.
Probably more Universal. I don't see Disney acquiring Pokemon anytime soon. But you never know.
Maybe up close to Safari Zone potentially.
That would be still pretty cool. That would be pretty cool too. It's gonna be kind of hard to actually get like days off for the summer too. I mean, my workplace is already filled with everybody taking days off, and I know that we won't probably have any news until sometime later in the springtime for GoFest, anyways. And I don't know if I'll actually want to go to GoFest this year after this event here, because I definitely think that I start saving up a little bit more. So I'll do the global, just like any other, but we'll see. We never know how it's gonna be.
Come on, Lewis. I got to meet you and Chris again at GoFest if it's in Seattle again.
Oh, God. It's just amazing.
Seattle those hills, man. Let's hit those hills.
Oh, God. Oh, man, the hills. Those days.
The hills have eyes, man.
The hills are alive, that's for sure. God damn, that was a weekend. My fit was still recovering like a month later. Oh lordy, but yeah, it's gonna be fun. I mean, if it happens, it happens. We'll see how it goes. You know, it's definitely something that we'll plan out if we have the time, of course. So, not to pressure anybody to go, but we'll go when we can. So,
oh
yeah. With that being said, of course, I think reminiscing as much as we can. If you guys want to listen to any prior episodes, we definitely are in the podcast services feeds. I'm trying to work on getting some of the episodes out in the playlist for the YouTube channel. I know that I probably lost footage in some of them, so I'm probably going to just keep on going with audios in some of them at the end of the day. So I don't know. I keep looking for them. I'm just like, where are they? It's like, I have up to this point. Great.
That's how I'm starting to feel about audio now. Like I look through, I'm like, where is this audio? I know I had it. And
yeah.
Content creator problems, I tell you.
Well, most of the time I keep everything in an external hard drive, but then my computer gets full, and at one point I think I actually lost like half of the episodes because it was too full.
Oh.
So it's just one of those moments. It's like I thought I moved them all, but we'll see how it is.
I mean, if you have the audio, I think that's way more important than the visuals.
Oh yeah, I think if we have to put the audio, we'll put the audio out there. But I know that we have at least a good 100 episodes and videos still. So.
But what if they want to see y'all's pretty face? Like, that's the one thing I have over all the other podcasts. A lot of them are too scared to show their face.
Right? Yeah, it's
Yeah, how are
definitely.
you gonna know what they look like in person? Yeah,
You don't even know if they're real people. They could just be robots ready to take over the world.
Beep, boop,
just
boop,
a
boop,
bunch of
boop, boop.
AI reading scripts. Yeah.
I mean, I'm still trying to get over roundtable chat on not having a roundtable. Like, it's hard.
Oh man, I definitely got to get those two going into the podcast eventually. It's so hard when everybody works, so it's kind of one of those things in the other day. Well,
You
yeah,
could work for free,
I know,
not
right?
have to pay bills.
Oh
Yeah.
god, if I get into the
Needs
podcast,
money.
they're going to be insane. Like I can tell you that jokes that they make is just incredible, anyway. So and they're also just like Marvel fans and all that, so they're just fun to be around with every single time. But yeah, so that is of course our 3 years reminiscing. I know there's way more moments that I can't remember right now. It's definitely going to 147 episodes is not easy. So going through the most memorable ones is what's good enough for me in the end of the day. So it's thank you for everything, guys. Like Chris, salute you for everything. David,
Guys,
Been
I
a
got a
pleasure.
surprise for you.
just keep on listening. So
I got a surprise for you guys. I bought a cake to celebrate this moment.
oh,
I have another surprise for you guys. I ate the cake because I couldn't wait that long.
I was gonna say. I don't know how we're getting it. Enjoy it.
he's just gonna like chip it to their hotel room and over there in Vegas or
Oh
something.
my gosh! It's like surprise. I can make it.
No, he's just gonna ship the cake. He's not gonna make it.
Oh,
With that being said, of course, now let's go into Hoenn. Go to Hoenn this weekend. I know we've been talking about it this entire month. It's just a moment we'll always remember, mostly because it's incredible. Just having to know the primals are gonna come out. We're gonna go rating super hard. If anybody's actually listening to us the day before Thursday or anything, or actually live right now with us, go ahead and buy your super incubators because the pricing of those boxes are gonna go up really, really bad. Yeah. So make sure you keep on eyes for that. But there's a few things that Pokemon Go did put it out on Twitter. One of them being, of course, the Team Ruby, Team Sapphire. You get to pick your medal when you're there. Actually, now that I think about it, if we pick Sapphire for one day, can we pick Ruby for the other day?
I doubt it.
that would be a dream come true, but I doubt it.
Yeah, that would be kind of insane if that makes sense. But the funny thing is like they did a countdown for Hoenn right now, and every time you open the app around 8 o'clock in the morning, there's like a time research for 12 hours that you just catch like 7 Pokemon, 6 Pokemon, 5 Pokemon each day.
Yup.
And then you get the starter, Sableye. What's the last thing that actually popped out? I don't remember at this point. But yeah, all those Pokemons that Pokemons that are at least prevalent to actually be kind of cool to see in Kotor Hoenn anyways. So that's actually kind of fun because it counts down, and I have one for each day anyways. So I still think we're gonna be able to pick both at one point. And
You can buy a ticket for both days. That's right.
yeah, so if you can buy a ticket for 4 days, for both days, I think they will give us the chance to do both days in different times. So you still gotta complete, I think, the time research before the end of the day. So you gotta actually complete the Pokédex by then, which is not hard, but just getting those stray evolutions, something's gonna be interesting. So
I think Wurmple will be the difficult one.
I think so too. But then, of course, you have, if you're joining Team Ruby, Plazo, Bulby, Trapinch, Solrock, and Castform, Sunnyform will be more prevalent for you and your incense walks and all that. And then for Team Sapphire, Minun, Illumise, Welmer, Lunatone, and Castform Rainy, which I don't have a couple of the shinies for each version, but still pretty cool. We'll definitely see if we can actually catch either one. And they also did a poll of who you're picking, and the final results is Team Sapphire wins. So that actually could be cool.
Did they say how much?
48.1% Ruby, 51.9% Sapphire. So we're almost close
wow.
to 50-50 there.
Yeah, that's really close.
Close as it can be, but Sapphire for the win. I would think that Chris will be actually picking Ruby for the Team Valor colors, but
Am I the only one Team Ruby here? Really?
I'm not, yeah. I grew up with Sapphire.
I'm gonna make my friend do it.
Wow.
I told Pure right before the podcast. I was like, I'm gonna make my friend do Ruby, so I know I got all the Pokemon I need.
Hey, he's gonna have to give me some Pokemon too because I'm gonna need to trade them anyways. I think they will probably release the the other form of cast form too, right? I think that's already a shiny out. Or
Ooh, yeah. If they make the windy one out there, and it's like rare AF, because like we never get foggy, that's gonna be pretty hype.
that's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be pretty cold when we get there. It's gonna be in the 60s at least for us. So, or when we get there at least. So, we may
Oh,
get
for
it.
y'all.
We'll get it. We'll get it when we get it, I guess. Then there's also a little bit of a tease of saying help can sometimes be found in most unlikely places, and they have a picture of each team leader in each team Go Rocket leader. So it's gonna be interesting how the story's gonna pan out. I still believe that Rayquaza is the final boss of all this.
Would be interesting if they like wake him up to end it all.
Maybe the people who are there can finally have their signature move of the Dragon Ascent, and then be ready for the Mega or something. Then that's why you have to raid it all for the next time or something. I don't know.
I always thought that it was kind of. I thought maybe it'd be like pay homage to the Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald games, to where you got to team up kind of with the teams, Team Magma and Team Aqua. So maybe we'll team up with Team Rocket to stop them.
That's basically what's happening, but I'm not sure if there's gonna be any other type of NPCs at the time. So
Right.
I
Well, not Team Rocket's going to replace Team Magma and Team Aqua. We're not going to get as Team Rocket. We'll just team up with them.
yeah.
They accidentally wake up the primals and they're like, "Hey, we can't really take care of them. Can you guys fight them for us?"
Like, really duck this up. So can you like really fix this for us?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, it's gonna be insane for sure. And then one last thing that they tweeted out probably not too long ago, and it's actually a retweet from the Pokemon company. And this is nothing to do with Hoenn, but definitely something that we may have to look into a little bit more. It's called hashtag Pokemon Together. And this is a whole, collect, trade, battle. They want to show like the years of everybody being together and do the kinds of things. They showed, the main series games. They show TCG. They show Go, definitely. So we know that all of that will come into what's called Pokemon Day, which is happening, in 2 weeks, I think, now that I think about it. But I don't know. I keep thinking that there's going to be some kind of like presentation between this week or next week. I think this week is already done for. But I think next week coming up, or next weekend coming up, since everybody's going to be able to have the global event, I'm sure that we'll probably have a presentation then before the actual day of celebration. So we'll see how it goes. And they always mention things, all their main series games, between Go to main series to Masters. Unite is now a big thing in the Pokemon universe, and it's crazy to say the least in the end of the day. That a lot of the games have actually like graphed different types of people in the end of the day. So yeah, it is how it is. And that being said, I don't know if there's anything else that I remember that they're going to be talking about or doing things. Just a whole bunch of things. We're definitely going to probably have some news next week. Maybe not closer to next week, but the following week after that. But we'll have a podcast out next week for the reason that we definitely want to tell our stories from Vegas and how they went. The crazy shinies, the crazy catches,
Crazy strippers.
Yeah. Anyways,
Vegas, baby.
if I say that, we're not addicted to drugs, we're not addicted to gambling either. But Pokemon Go is gambling in its own way. So,
Dude, Pokemon in
saying
general
I
is
need to ride
gambling.
home.
you're both talking at the same time. What is it? One at a time. Chris first.
You go, Chris.
I said Pokemon in a whole is gambling, man.
Yeah, definitely. And then what'd you say, David?
If I said if I get a call from you guys that y'all need a ride home, I know something went wrong.
Yeah.
A ride home? You what? Like 19 hours away or something?
Hey, desperate times call for desperate measures, man. You never know.
So that's true.
You're our last hope, Obi-Wan.
And then you'll drive me all the way back to the to this side of the world.
I don't know. I'll figure something out.
Right? Yeah. But yeah, so I think that's it. We do have a little bit of PvP going for sure. I guess we should get wrecked. Here we go. So, thank you for doing that. GBL has switched over to the Ultra League and something else.
Love Cup.
The Love Cup. All pink Pokemon again. I haven't really had that much success on it. We also have Vulpix Research Day or Go Battle Day, which I didn't really do that much. I just did the special research and got the elite TMs that I needed.
Same. I I didn't get any Vulpix, but I don't know if I just needed to do another set or something.
Definitely. There is a time limit of when you can actually get Vulpix, and that's the 2 to, or was it the 2 or 11 to 2? I think.
Well, that explains it.
There was actually one interesting tweet that somebody pointed out, and this was a shiny Pikachu Libre when they hit legend rank.
The rank 1.
And it was actually at rank 1 shiny Pikachu Libre for the Great League. Or no, actually no, for the Little Cup, for the 500 CP one. Yeah. So
one of the rare Pokemon you can ever catch. Yeah.
Yeah. The crazy thing is this happened during that specific day where the IVs are all over the place. So you can actually get, instead of the standard 10-10-10 maximum IVs to get in the tracks of Go Battle League, during Go Battle days, those actually get removed and you can get any type of IVs. So to be able to get a Pikachu Libre, a shiny one, and then a rank 1 that has this perfect IVs for the Little Cup, how more crazy can you be on that? It's like the odds of that happening is insane, that's for sure. And it had to be a specifically moment for that to happen too, because once the event ends, or at least once the technicality of the Vulpix hours end, I think that's where you can finally, encounter it, and that's still pretty insane to have happen. Anyways, it's one of a kind. Then nobody will probably forget anyways. So
I won't forget about that. That was super rare.
Yeah. So with that, and then we had our factions updates for this week. We are taking this break this week because our team can definitely handle it without us. But we actually did win our last runabout of battles with our team. Yeah, Chris and I went 2-1, I think, on both our battles. Had some crazy disputes happening here and there, but we definitely got the team together to really, help us out throughout it. And I thank for Switch Masters to really be out there, because I felt like if I would have gone to Vegas with a losing record, then I would have just been out of it the entire weekend. So it was fun and exciting in the end of the day. So keep at it, I guess. And we'll come back, I think. Don't we? We're in the last few runabouts. I'm not sure how many more weeks we have.
It's very soon. I can't remember either, to be honest.
I think the next cycle starts on March 3rd. I think I know that much. But I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, dude, we gotta have like 1 or 2 more weeks then, if that's the case.
I think if we are to take a break in between, I think we will probably, this either be the last week or next week will be the last week. So we have at least 1 week to recover from everything. So let me check because it's nine weeks of cycles, right? Actually, this is last week.
I thought I saw that, but I was like, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, so it's 9 weeks. We definitely have not gotten demoted, so that's pretty good. We're gonna stay in the bronze tier as for now, and then hopefully we can continue on for next time. We can probably get promoted, but we'll see how this week goes. It's really it's a long shots and maybe a 10%, 20% chance of getting them promoted, but we'll see how it goes in the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm still happy with how our team did.
Definitely. We'll continue on to seeing what we can do for a little bit longer. And I think that's it. That's all that we have to cover and everything that we talked to. It's definitely been a good hour for everybody here. So thank you very much for sticking around. Definitely. I also want to say thank you for everybody who's, listening to us or watching us or anything in between. Thank you so much for actually being part of this, because really, without the listeners, without having the momentum of people actually, picking up the podcast at some point, that we wouldn't be here. We really wouldn't be this type of success that we had this many years already without the actual listeners. So I want to thank everybody who's always listening to us every week. Thank you so much for everything that you guys do. Keep, listening to us as much as you can. Keep getting those reviews out there if you can. We'll definitely be out there to continue on, to at least give you the ins and outs of what Pokemon Go is truly about. As much as we can.
I do want to give a thank you to David too for coming by to celebrate his year and to help celebrate our 3 years. So hopefully both of our podcasts will go on long and strong.
Oh yeah. Y'all are such a great group of guys. I look forward to just seeing how your podcast evolve, and I hope that it continues to grow, man, to something that we can't foresee. You never know where it's going to take us.
That's true.
right here, right now, Niantic will send us an email, be like, "Hey, you guys want to go everywhere now?" So it's like,
You want to be part of the meetup in Las Vegas?
pretty much, right?
Oh my
It's
gosh. Yeah, we didn't know you guys were going.
Hey, people recognize us out there that we can insane too. So
If you do recognize them, go say hello. I'm sure that Lewis and Chris wouldn't mind seeing that.
yeah, definitely. We'll do a special trade that we can do somehow. But yeah, so thank you so much for everybody for listening to the podcast. Thank you so much for everything you guys do. You can always check us out at the podcast services fees: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, and Amazon Music if you can. I mean, I know that that's a thing. If you can leave us a review, we would really appreciate it. Don't forget our socials: the Purified Podcast, which is the all Purified Podcast stuff here. Pure Let It Go for myself. Pokemon Trigger Please. That's PKMN Trigger Please with a C at the end. David, how about you plug in your all your stuff there, all the places that we can be?
Sure. You can find me as the Pokeball Turns on every podcast platform, same as Purified Podcast. You can also follow me on Twitter at ATPT Podcast. And yeah, that's probably some of the best ways to find me. I'm also on Instagram as the Pokeball Turns as well.
Yeah, and he has some cool edits and reels out there, so make sure that you guys give it a listen. Go ahead and email us anything to the purifiedpodcast@gmail.com and join our Discord, which is free. And don't forget to check us out at the purifiedpodcast.com, the Professor Network. And with that being said, Chris and David, you guys get to choose who gets us out for the night.
Chris,
Have you ever wanted to ham?
I'll let you do it, Chris.
Oh,
I'll
God.
be your hype man.
I'll take it. We just love Pokemon Go, and we loved the Valentine's Day event. Some a little bit more than others.
Definitely that.
So yeah, hope you guys are looking forward to the Hoenn event coming up. At least Pure and I's favorite region. We're very biased, and yeah, hope you guys are looking forward to hopefully another 3 years and counting of Pokemon Go content. And yeah, thank you guys very much for joining in. It's been a fantastic time. Catch you guys next week. Peace out.
Purify the Mewtwo, man.
Thank you, David. And keep purifying, everybody. We'll see you guys next week.